Hi, everyone. It's Astrologer Val Evans. Thanks for joining me and welcome. This is a little pre show I'm going to be doing right before my show with Amber, Royal Revelations, in 2.5 hours. And Brenda, thanks so much for joining me. Soda Pop's here. Marie is here from Norway. Got a few chatters. So come on in, welcome. And we're talking about Prince Harry. And really, what I'm doing is I want to get to the bottom of some of the things that are on his mind. And I'm going to show you how to do that with your own life, with people that you know, using various charts. And then I also want to pull some cards to see what's going on here. It looks a little bit chaotic. So I thought I would pull Prince Harry's progress chart right now, and it looks difficult. So anybody who's joining me for the first time, you may not know that I love all of the royals. So I don't really take sides, but I do point out when things are really tough for some of the royals. It doesn't matter who it is, Meghan, Prince Harry, Prince William, they're all having these energies that can be very, very difficult to get through. And we just want to identify what they are experiencing right now. Okay, so the third house is what you're thinking about. So I pulled Prince Harry's progressed transit chart. This is as transparent as you can get when you're looking at charts. The progress chart is your birth chart now. So all of your planets since you've been born, they've all progressed to this point. And then we want to see the transit charts that are currently roaming through the sky. We want to see where they're hitting this current chart. And so this is Prince Harry's, and I just showed the third house because this is his mindset. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Lord of the Third to find out a little bit more. Okay, it's in Gemini. So this is someone who's probably going to be on television because of Gemini, wants to communicate. But the problem is we've got Chiron there. And Chiron can show that when you are communicating, it could be healing for you to do that, to through that communication, you're feeling a little bit better. But on the other hand, it can also show that in your healing, you are hurting other people. And that might be evident here. But we're going to look at where Mercury is. And Mercury is the Lord of the Third. And the third is the communications house. So what's he thinking about? Well, Scorpio things. So, I mean, a very obvious one is that he's feeling like he needs to take revenge, or that he is, what's on his mind, he's thinking that he's betrayed. And then conjunct Saturn. Well, that can show, even though there are a few degrees between as far as the conjunction, so that's really good. But still, there might be a heaviness on your mind when you have Saturn so close to your third house lord. So this is very tough, and it happens to be in the 8th house. So it can show that this is serious. This is serious, and there are going to be some events. Obviously, there already have, but some that are upcoming that are going to potentially cause some harm. The other thing, too, is look at how transiting Uranus is moving towards that third house of communications, and it happens to be conjunct his progressed north node right in the Algol area of the devil. So this is the devil strikes right here, and it just happens to be going through the 2nd and the 8th house. What's happening really is this devil, it can show greed and too much ambition. It can show addictions, but also devilish behavior. And so going through the 2nd and the 8th, there are financial issues, and because of these upsets that either he's living through himself or he's causing, it is affecting him in the bottom line as well as his possibly inheritances. So this is a really, really volatile time for Prince Harry. And if you want to pull your solar return chart, you can just go to AstroSeek. They've got a new little menu here. Before they had the solar return years, now they have solar return patterns, which we're going to have to investigate. And if you want to pull the chart for your last year that you had your birthday. So if you haven't had your birthday yet, you're still pulling your 2024 chart, and you're going to hit the solar only tab, not the solar and birth. So let's take a look. We're in the very last. This is always so fascinating. And I know you guys think so too, because you like to hear about what's coming up. You like to hear the predictions. And that's what these solar return charts do. And it's amazing that we don't see more people doing them online. We've got Prince Harry's 2024-25 chart. So he's got a few houses left. And if you want to know how to read a solar return chart, you're going to take your birthday and start it on the ascendant. And then every house is going to be the next month. So for his second house, it would have been October 15th, 2024, then November 15th, 2024. And then you look at the Lord of that house, and you also look at what's inside the house to see what's coming up. You can have an empty house, but if you go to the Lord and you see that the moon is in the middle, let's say the Lord of the second for Prince Harry, the moon is in the middle of, wow, quite a huge stellium that looks very positive, then you're going to do pretty well financially, which it looks like he did. All that money from the spare book and various other things he's doing. It looks fantastic. Why? Because Pluto means millions and millions. And then part of fortune means fortune times a million. And then the moon, my God. Then on top of it, you can see that you've got this blue triangle, which we always love. And not only does he have a blue triangle, which shows ease of doing things. It flows. You need this. Okay, you got it. You want that. Okay, somebody's got a connection for you and they're going to call you. It's an easy walk up the mountain. He also has a kite too. So kites are always nice in your charts. And it's one of the things I look at when I'm looking at your solar return chart. This is my website. Here we have June 14th. I mean, that's coming up in 2 days. And that's what's going to activate Saturn and then Neptune. That's the next thing that's coming up for him. So Prince Harry, you thought you were so lucky over here and so excited because maybe he got a big check. 8th house is also real estate too. So might have put some money in some real estate and has done really well. But then we've got Saturn right up here. And then we've got Neptune. And why is that kind of a cautionary thing? Kind of like, watch out. Well, you have these oppositions coming up. This is going to be difficult. It might be a little troubling between June 15th and July 15th. Now, Saturn represents the father. It's going to be painful because he's going to see his father out in the open here. This is the government, and this is a complete fall of communications. And it's a freeze. You are not talking to this person here, Saturn representing not only his father, which traditionally is what Saturn is, and Saturn retrograde is somebody who's very, very weak. And in Pisces, maybe somebody who's doing chemo or who is in the hospital or has doctors around him. I almost think that there's going to be some news about his dad coming up. And I mean, that might be next week. News about his health or news about their communication of some sort. But 15 degrees, not a great degree, not a great degree. I'd call it weak. The other thing too is Saturn is the 7th house lord. So that's business partners. That is an employment contract. That is also Meghan. I am seeing this really poor aspect for not only Prince Harry and his dad, King Charles, but I'm also seeing it for his wife. We're going to have to look at the cards for that. Shauna, you love to chat. I love to chat too. And because of our wonderful moderators, you welcome everybody in. So I thank you for that. And thank you, Brenda and Angel, when she gets here. It's still a little too early. And Toy as well. Hopefully we'll see Toy. Now, what about his brother? Okay, let's take a look. If you want to see, this is such a great way to teach because I love your questions. Let's look at where his brother is. So, this is Prince Harry. Let me erase this. And so, we're looking at his older brother. So, that's going to be the 11th house. And it would make sense that his 11th house this year, because it's going to change every year with the solar return chart, is in Aries. So this is somebody who is maybe mad, maybe. And it's weird. It's right in front of him. So not sure why that is, but there's a possibility that they're going to be facing each other, doing something. It does look like they are going to have to speak. That's kind of crazy and not something I would have guessed that's going to happen. It's around the time of their mother's anniversary, death anniversary. So it's possible. Chiron here, it's the wounded healer. So there could be some hurtful things, some pain that's being felt naturally because of her passing, but also because you've got to see somebody you really don't want to see. So this is pretty interesting here. But what I want to get to the bottom of is Saturn, which is dad and his wife. Now, the other thing you could see too is the seventh house, the seventh house lord is Meghan, but Venus is also Meghan too. So she's down here looking pretty beautiful in Libra, and wow, just beyond, you'd never believe it because of what she's going through the press, but it is massive fame and success right now. She's got a little card up her sleeve. There's somebody in the background that's helping her somehow, and it might be a reporter, could be like a Gail King type of person where they're sort of helping but secretly. But let's take a look because I want to see what's coming up here. This is next week. This has to do with the government. And also we want to, in these charts, we always want to look and see what's up with the T-square. And again, so we've got Mercury opposing Saturn, and then we've got Jupiter in Gemini in a T-square with King Charles. This is almost like he can't talk. Okay, so let me add this here. Let's see what's going on. This is on or around probably June 16th to June 20th. And there's something happening here that has to do with, let's talk about King Charles first. What is this T-square that we're seeing? What's it about? Four of Pentacles. So could be cut off. Something serious with the finances, which is hard to believe since they're so wealthy. But it also, when you have a T-square, and I'm going to show you, when you have a T-square in your chart, it means you're feeling that pain. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, well, they're going through that. You're somehow going to be either affected, or you're going to be hearing about it. You're going to somehow be observing it. And hello, Lisa James. So it looks tough. Let's break this down though. Pisces is maybe in the hospital, and he can't see him in the hospital, but we've got that Four of Pentacles reversed. There's a thief. It is bad, and it is affecting all of them. And how do you know that? Because of that Jupiter in Gemini. Sometimes in a square and you've got Jupiter, can show somebody who's a little bit big. So that could be the profile. Nobody's talking, but the problem is they're not communicating in a way that's helpful to the entire family. And somebody may possibly be benefiting from that. So who could this person be in the 12th house that I'm seeing? This is a hidden enemy that is really making a mess of things. Three of Cups. Could be women. Yeah, it's a group, because take a look at this. View file. Yeah, I mean, what is Gemini? Gemini is 2 or more people. So maybe these are some women here. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's coming up. Okay. That's going to be next week. We're going to see, everybody's going to see what this is because Saturn is in the MC or on the MC. It's for all to see. And it's kind of like it is a big break of some sort. And it has to do possibly with speaking or communicating, or maybe an email. An email from the past is coming out and nobody wants to talk about it. So then we get into the Neptune period over here, right here. Well, that was a big circle, this one. Here's another issue that's coming out. So again, another opposition, but in this case, it's the sun. Now, this is Prince Harry. So this is a tough month for Prince Harry. A tough month for his family because this could certainly mean when you have a Neptune with an opposition there, sometimes that can mean being sick. But the nice thing, what you look for is you look for the blue lines, and we've got a nice kite here. So he's got good news and bad news coming in. It looks, wow. It looks like he's going to have to cancel something, though. It's all lining up for him, but then the sun opposite Neptune, sometimes it can show that you got to stay home. You have to stay home for some reason. Why is he staying home? Because it's the 4th house. He's stuck in there. There he is. And it's the sun in Virgo in the 4th. These can be health issues. So let's see. Is Harry going to have some kind of health issue in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which would be his 10th house? Okay. More money issues. Maybe sick with the money. So there it is. Queen of Pentacles. So, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money coming in, but something falls. Okay, so if you want to get to the bottom of it, then you're going to look and see in the chart, okay, what falls. And so we're going to look at the sun. Now, the sun is a boss. The sun is you, your body. So this could be maybe a boss disappears. They're like, I thought you were going to produce my next blah, blah, blah. He's not anywhere around here. I think he went to Thailand. And you're like, okay. So this is when you have an opposition to Neptune. This is a ghosting. Somebody's ghosting you. So somebody could be ghosting him. And it could have something to do with finances where you were owed some money and they are nowhere to be found. That can be challenging. Now, here's some happy news for Prince Harry. He's coming up on his North Node. When you come up on your North Node in your solar return chart for the year, it means you're going to get something. And it looks like he is going to potentially win something. When you have North Node in Aries, this can be, I should have put the aspects on here. Let's see. It's basically this right here. But it looks like, see, the problem is we've got Black Moon Lilith in the middle of the nodes. So something a little bit shady could be coming up. Oh God, not anything else that's shady, but it does show the time frame of when you're going to receive something. And sometimes Aries can mean a new car. It definitely shows winning or losing something. It could be a new battle. So let's ask the cards. What could be this North Node in Aries in his 10th? Usually with North Node in the 10th, if you're looking at that in your solar return for that year, it's going to show a new career. What is this North Node that I'm seeing? Whoa. Oh my God. This is good. You want this card. So King of Pentacles, he's getting paid. The man's getting paid, and he might actually have a whole new gig that he's And you might already know, I haven't looked up what he's been doing lately. So I'm going to get a clarifier card on what this new opportunity is for Prince Harry. It's a wowza. Ace of Swords. So something very, very, could be secret, but very strategic, and might have to do maybe with an older woman, like a business partner, something like that. Now, Neptune also represents an actor or an actress, kind of close to Saturn there. I'll show you. This could be a foreign actor. So this is foreign. This is an actor. And this is Saturn, which would be an older person. So you could put all three of these together, and there could be a collaboration with, say, like an Javier Bardem, or somebody who's foreign to Harry. Even George Clooney would be foreign to him. So something like that, where there's maybe some kind of new venture. It's not perfect though, because of those oppositions, and it certainly looks like he's not able to speak about something. That's going to be frustrating for him. Mercury represents the 4th house of home, and it also represents the 12th house. It might be good. One of his hidden enemies might disappear, which we would like. Sometimes these red lines, these oppositions and squares, they're not all bad. This area right here, that's the hidden enemy house. You can look at Mercury here, and the hidden enemy falls. Who is this hidden enemy? That's what I want to know. Who's Prince Harry's hidden enemy that is going to take a fall here coming up in the next 3 to 4 weeks? Maybe it's an intern. The poor intern gets fired. Maybe bad communications, decides to disappear. Can I get a clarifier on who this is? This is someone in the 3rd house, so can be a person in PR, maybe. Usually that's the 9th. Could be a neighbor. Is this a neighbor that we're talking about that is giving Prince Harry a hard time? Looks like a no, but it might have something to do with family issues. So I could definitely see that there's something that's happening. Anybody really who's living in California, particularly that own real estate, they're thinking, what's the next thing with Trump's plan here, because last week was so chaotic. So that might have something to do with it. How are they going to stick around? Are they going to basically just stay put? This looks like kind of being locked in somehow. There the North Node is right up here, and you can see this is very sad. In your chart, if you have something like this is something you're supposed to get, and you can't get it. And it means a loss of some sort. Usually, it looks pretty nasty. Probably maybe another legal loss, maybe the bill comes in, but it definitely looks like something that it's something where you're just like, okay, let's just move on. Let's move on. Let's get on to July. Let's put this behind us. So there is that possibility where he was supposed to get that win and he didn't get it. However, this is still tied to these other planets here. It doesn't matter, the conjunction doesn't matter the amount of degrees, at least according to some astrologers, some ancient astrologers, which I believe. So I think there still could be some opportunities, because that North Node is going to link up here with this kite. Even though it's poorly aspected, there's still going to be some good results. But for the most part, this looks extremely difficult. And for his career. So he's going to probably have to dump something in his career. And so we're going to move on all the way through just a few more months here. And then he's going to be in his 2025 chart. So there's Saturn. There's that T-square that he's in. Really tough. That's coming up next week. There's the North Node. And then there's the T-square with, this is going to be difficult because of Mars here. He's going to be in a big fight with his brother, and he will not be able to win because Mars represents his brother. And he's going to say, you know, probably what the conversation is going to be, stay home. But there is a nasty jealousy here because of the 8 degrees with Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is nefarious, mean, nasty. they're both going to be the best way to deal with something like this in your solar return chart is to not engage, to not try to win. Allow whatever's happening to happen. Let this person here have their way. Do not fight, and then move past that, and then it'll go away. If you really try your best to win, it's just not going to happen. So here is Prince Harry's solar return for 2025. Good Lord, this is Virgo right here. One thing I love about Virgo, I was just watching something on, I think it was Instagram, and Sarah Jessica Parker was talking about how she does 10 to 20, or maybe it's 20 to 30 changes of her clothes per episode. It's kind of crazy. And so that would be Virgo. In her chart, in Sarah Jessica's chart, she has Pluto in Virgo. And then I think there's a stellium there, which shows massive amounts of clothes. And in her contract for Sex and the City, she could keep all of her clothes. So she has, warehouses of clothes. She's got a lot. So when I think of Virgo, I think of Sarah Jessica, and I think of how, if well aspected, this is like designer clothes. This is almost like maybe starting a clothing brand. Brad Pitt is hawking shirts, I think. They look nice too. So it's possible, maybe. Is Harry going into the clothing business? Now, sometimes with Virgo, it can show that you're sick, that there's some health care issues. I know. And you see a lot of models that have Virgo, because what's happening in their everyday life, they're putting clothes on, they're taking clothes off, they've got clothes all around them, they've got people delivering clothes. So it can be a nice place to be. Soda Poppy said, I don't like the bros fighting. I feel like they are the last of Diana, even if they have their own kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two have the unique ability to pull the absolute best and worst out of each other. I agree. Jen, I keep pulling the Chariot card, which is my William card. I've been getting the Chariot a lot too. I think there's going to be some news regarding transportation coming up. A T-square with the nodes, yeah. That's what you're meaning by that. I can go back and rewatch that part. I know it takes a couple of times to listen to it to understand, because as a lot of my English subscribers say, it sounds like gibberish, but you get to know what it is and it's not so much. So this looks difficult because, and a lot of us are going to have the Saturn Neptune conjunction, and then an opposition to the Sun and Mercury. This isn't good. This is not good. This is at the very least extreme depression. Okay. And with the South Node, we've got somebody who's in despair. So let's see where his dad is. If you want to look at where your dad is, you're going to look at Saturn, which is, right away you can see that Saturn. And that's playing out between September and April. But is it something where you just have to throw it away? Or are there other elements in this chart where you can see there's a possibility there could be some opportunities to connect with dad? Yeah, looks like it. Shauna, right? Also, rumors that M is starting a children's clothing line. Okay. Shauna, Virgo Sun and Mercury here, not quite like SJP, but the anxiety is real. And I do have a specific aesthetic with clothing, Wild. And I will bet that when you see, could be their clothing, or if you either look at people or look at things, Virgos are the perfectionists. They look at everything in detailed manner. So it's kind of wild. Now, let's see when he could connect with his dad. So you're going to see Saturn as dad, and you're also going to see Jupiter as dad. So where is Jupiter? Where is Jupiter? My eyes. Oh, there it is. Okay. Jupiter doesn't look bad. Go figure. It does look like there is a way they could connect somehow. And 11th house, well, it's around Christmas time. So, yeah, around November. But the problem is that with the trine to none other than Black Moon Lilith, this is somebody who has a strategic plan. This isn't out of the kindness of his heart. This is whatever he's doing, King Charles, is he's going to be doing something for himself. It makes Prince Harry feel good though. But let's see. So that's so much Virgo. This is just a lot of health care. There's a possibility that his dad's reaching out to him because he got hurt. That's weird. I'm going to use Anita's cards for this one. Okay. Why am I seeing it's like somebody's sick? Maybe it's Prince Harry. Is there any kind of healthcare element that's coming up for Prince Harry that would make his father want to reach out to him? Because, I mean, think about it. King Charles is the only parent he has. He's already lost one. I mean, he's existing without, a parental figure that he's used to having. And it's so frustrating having somebody there that you can't speak to. Is King Charles reaching out to Harry to help him? Ooh, okay. I've got 9 of Swords reversed. So, well, that could be good. That could be returning back from rejection, because the card upright means rejection. So that could be good. Maybe a reversal of some sort. Is there some kind of healthcare element? Because we see so much Virgo. When you see Virgo in a chart, it's usually going to be some kind of health thing. Why is King Charles reaching out to Prince Harry? Two of Swords reversed. So, I mean, it could be money. Could be money somehow. But getting some reversed cards there, not that that's bad, but it's kind of like unblocking. So I do think there's going to be some kind of unblocking there. But I think King Charles is a bit concerned, because if he leaves everyone to their own devices, they're all going to be in this big battle for the next 10, 20 years. And he doesn't want that. I'm sure that King Charles is concerned. There's health issues for both. Rehashing that Sandringham Summit agreement, maybe. Shawnee, you like clean line, whites, neutrals, nautical 2. Yeah. Jen, you got the World in reverse. Final obstacle Charles needs to take care of. Val, can you a bit closer on has health status for this next little bit? Sure. Maybe the king is trying to make things right between his boys. It's possible. I mean, when dad is Jupiter in that year, that's a good thing, especially well aspected, which it's kind of well aspected, but let's see what I have here. Okay, so there he is. There's King Charles right there. 20 degrees, by the way. That's a Scorpio degree. But dad's in pain. Look at the square here to Chiron. If you want to talk about health, all you need to do is look at this. Yikes. Dad is in a lot of pain. Oh my God. So we don't like T-squares. We don't. And we don't like Chiron, and we don't like Mars. So how would we find out the health of dad? Well, we would go to the 4th house, we would go to the 6th house, which is dad. And we would count to the 6th house from the 10th. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. It's in Scorpio, which represents the prostate. So then we're going to look up at Pluto, and Pluto's here, right here. Interesting. It looks like a lot of pain. It looks like a lot of pain. And then Saturn also, no, that's in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So dad's health is really going to, around October 15th to December 15th, these two houses, second and third, really going to be seeing more and more either news, rumors, whatever they are, communications about dad's health. And it's gonna hurt, I think, emotionally too. Now let's look at Haz's 6th house. That's his health. I don't like the 6th house in Aquarius. I really don't, especially when Aquarius has a poor aspect. Now that could be work too, or it could also be a coworker. So, but let's look at what this is. It might be a decision to cut something, maybe a coworker. It's not going well there with whatever the subject matter is, and Meghan, because Meghan's Venus. And it can sometimes with a square to a Leo planet, especially when it has to do with health or it's Uranus, it's sudden COVID, because Leo is the coronavirus. So it might just show that he's probably going to get sick for a little bit, but and it'll be completely by surprise. So he just has to be careful where he goes. He's going to probably travel a lot. That 9th house, it's travel. And it's kind of like spur of the moment travel with Uranus there. Uranus represents the 6th house of coworkers, work, and health, and your routine. So there's also an opportunity too, possibly with Mercury. This is little kids. And in Virgo, this is little kids' clothing. Oh my God. I wonder if he's helping her. That's what it is. Now with the South Node, these are little kids who are sad. They might be poor. They might be, I don't know, for whatever reason, they could be African kids because of the opposition with Saturn. Saturn is it's like dark skinned, and then what am I trying to say? Neptune is foreign. So maybe some kind of maybe foreign issue means these kids don't have any clothing. So maybe they're doing something and helping, or starting a charity, or maybe figuring out that other charity business. But it does look like there's something that he's really helping out with. And I don't know when that's going to be, but wow, keep that Virgo in mind. Keep that clothing clue in mind. I got to keep my eye on the time because I still have a couple of things to do before my next show. But yikes, this is December 1st, 2025. This is going to happen to all of us at some point in our lives. But geez, Black Moon Lilith and an opposition here with Uranus is a strike of some sort. It is something that comes completely out of the blue. I'm afraid to say his wife is in the middle of it, or it could be a female. Doesn't necessarily need to be Meghan, but this is all in the 4th house of his home. So this is around Christmas time. And let's see, where is he? All right, so this is his natal chart. These planets on the inside. Planets on the outside are the transit planets that are going to be in the sky on December 1st. And so we're going to look and see where Saturn is. Saturn is up here. And generally he looks okay, but there's somebody else who isn't okay. And that's in his 10th house here. It's quite a big shock, I gotta say. Why is it so big? Because Uranus is at 29 degrees within 1 degree of North Node. And I wonder what that is. This has something to do with either home or career. And it's something where he cannot do anything. It's broken. Now, the fourth and the 10th are mom and dad. So, and sometimes Black Moon Lilith can be a disease, somebody who has a disease. So, what is this opposition? It is ugly. It is a big, big, big shock that's coming up December 1st for him. Yeah, Margaret. I know. Yes. Yeah, maybe traveling to a country where they will produce the clothing. Yes, thanks, Shauna. And all right, so what is this opposition we're seeing with the 10th and the 4th? This almost looks like they're getting the heck out of Dodge, out of that horrible Montecito ghetto. Is this a time where they're being forced, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan, are they being forced to move? This is interesting. I've got 9 of Swords. So, okay, that might be good, right? It could be a reversal of something that's devastating. It is on the Middle East, Israeli zodiac signs. So they might be seeing something that really shakes them. It could be an earthquake too. Is this an earthquake I'm seeing in December for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry? 6 of Wands. Still could be getting a clue there with a female in the limelight, but it maybe it's not an earthquake, but something turns over. What is this big shock? Can you give us one more card to explain what's going on? It's really affecting his home and his career. 2 of Wands reverse. So lots of reverse cards. Maybe being a little bit more decisive and picking up and moving on. 9 of Swords, torment. But I have 9 of Swords reversed. If you read the reverse cards, I think it's the monarchy. Owner not getting money. Oh, because of the supposed sweatshops. Hopefully no sweatshops. Maybe they're even saving children from sweatshops. I don't know. But this is something to think about here because it's a lot of energy all at one time. Thankfully, these planets move very fast. The Mercury and Venus, but also here is Mercury. And that goes back to potentially a shocking announcement, which is the title of this show. This is shocking. And it's right on the 8th house of real estate, transformation, Meghan's income, second house from 7th, the income from partnerships. Can we get a card on this shocking announcement? It's a big break here. This is a divorce. Not sure who's divorcing, but what is this big break? Can we get confirmation? Star. Well, I'm afraid to say that the star sometimes can mean trouble globally. But can we get one more like that? That could be a drone or something that's bothering them. Can we get a clarifier card on what this shocking announcement is? Got 5 of Pentacles reversed. So could be a new venture that everybody cannot believe. Shaking the tree, that Prince Harry. We'll have to see what it is. So around the December time frame. My God. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, is someone high up in the firm going to finally strip these 2 of their titles, Oops. Let's see. Is that the big shock in December? Is that like, and that it's so petty. So many people wait until the holidays to just deal a blow. Just let's ruin their Christmas by doing this, and that. So it would not surprise me. But Meghan and Prince Harry's titles in December. What can you tell us? That's weird. I just shuffled this. 5 of Pentacles, sadness. That's not a good card. Five, not a good card. It's despair over income. But one more clarifier card about their titles. They're going to focus on their family. Could have something to do with the family, but it looks okay to me. It looks okay to me. There's a possibility they're realizing that the more that they put their family photos and everything out there, the more that it keeps them in the public eye, and it helps a lot. So maybe there's something that has to do, Mercury's a little kid. So there could be something that has to do, it's such a great Meghan and Prince Harry card because the 2 little kids look like their kids. Let me get one more card. One clarifier card on this big shock in December. Okay. Maybe the lovers could be a partnership of some sort. So a partnership with maybe an uncommon partner. I don't know. People don't like it. People do not like it. Or he does not like it. It is not good for his chart, but thankfully he can move on from this. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah, they'll become the newest Spencers. The Chariot again, really? Yeah, name change. They're talking about the name change, but they can't change it. They're having a hard time changing the name. Shauna. Jen, you said, I would think the intent would be positive for bringing work to another country, but maybe it doesn't end up as planned. Yeah, they do need to be careful. There's just so many people who would really, especially with Meghan's chart, that can be difficult. She has a lot of hidden enemies and people who, you would want to fire. So it's kind of hard. So anyway, I know, Shauna, 2 choices. We're going to have to see which one it is. So I am going to rest my voice for a little bit, and I'll be back in another hour and a half. And we are going to talk about this trooping chaos. Hopefully no troopers. And we're going to see what's going to happen tomorrow. We've got twin, unless they're both canceled by now, twin parades. It's kind of nutty. And we're going to talk all about that, the world predictions. So I hope you can join me. Thank you so much for chatting with me today, keeping me company, and I'll see you in a little bit.